All right. I started later than I usually would have for 30 minutes. Homemade wine. Homemade wine. Um, kind of wine. It's kind of more it's more like prison wine. It tastes good though, but I should have let it ferment longer. All right. That should let it ferment longer, but whatever. All right. So before we get into this, I know I'm not. I know I'm not live. It's 16. Jeez, is that cold? I know I'm not live. Say the truth, I don't know when I'm going to go live. I'm going to go live eventually and probably soon-ish, but I don't know when. Next week, just because I still got to check some stuff before I go live. And next week, I am going to be busy a little bit. I have a surprise for myself, not for you guys, but I'll let y'all give me something that I really, really wanted. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know when I'm going to go live. Probably not next week. I can say that. Probably not next week. Okay. Um, what else? Um, oh, I'm going to church. So weird. After this, I'm going to church. I gotta see how those people are. So, yeah, I gotta check them out. They're the only people that in town at least that might not be piece of shit that go to church or well, I'm not gonna judge the people, but I'll at least judge the pastor. Definitely judge the pastor. In this regard, that the pastor of that church may not be a piece of shit. People that follow churches are usually just confused. Um, some churches, so other churches are just full pieces of shit that you could just plainly say. Uh, yeah, yeah. So there's that. Um, there was something else I wanted to mention. I don't remember what it was. Sure. Oh, okay, I gotta say this. So I said before that if I get set 50 subscribers, I'm going to delete my YouTube and then upload every video. Okay, so here's the problem. That's a lot of videos to upload. That's number one. Okay, it's a lot of videos. I just realized I have like 60 something videos, and a lot of them are well over an hour. That's a lot. That's number one. Number two, as much as most of the predominant figures in Israel are going to burn in Sheol, I can't ignore them. So I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do this yet. What I would like is to be able to have a separate website or something for people to go to see the videos and all that. I'll see if I can figure out a way to do that. But in the meantime, if I get 50 subscribers, what I'm going to do is I'll take down all of like my picture. I mean, I don't know. I'll make my YouTube page now. This is what I'm thinking I'm going to do. Something I'm going to do. Take down my YouTube page or take down the cool stuff of my YouTube page, like the header and my name and all that stuff. And only leave like certain things, like specific things, like just the readings of the book, something like that. And then start another YouTube and upload only certain things, like my music, upload my music. What else? The readings, I'll put it on there too. I'll put some stuff here and there for it. But I've realized that if people don't see me posting often, they'll usually leave it alone. But I want the information up there. I like I can't I honestly like I realize that one more. I'm like I can't like the house is fucked up and like a lot thousands of people need to die. But that doesn't mean that because thousands of people need to die that I can just ignore the dozens, maybe even couple, who knows, that don't need to. So anyone following me, anyone that's paying attention, please don't follow me. Do not subscribe to me, like dead ass. Because once I get to 50, I'm gonna have to stop on this one. And then if you're not in my immediate circle, if you're not one of the people that live around me, I'm not telling you how to find my next page. Flat out. I'm not telling you how to find my next page. Okay. I'm not. Like I'm really not. Like I know there's at least one person out there that has my other that's not in my neighborhood that has my other social media. You know who you are. You do the weather. What's up, bro? What's up, Ak? If you want to see more of my stuff, you could just check my other social media that I have. So I only have two now that I use, at least. I have like others, but I don't use them just anymore. So you can check that one, and you'll see, and to the family too. I'll put there what my other YouTube will be if I get to 50 subscribers. But like I said, I'm not gonna take it down because I putting it back up is way too much of a task. I realize, like, unless somehow I come into a crazy influx of money or something, not even money, but more so help. If I get a crazy influx of help, which I'm not, it's not like a hint to anybody. Trust me, it's really not. Unless I get a crazy influx of help, that's a lot of work to do, and I don't think it's. I'm not really sure if it's even. I'm not sure if it's right or if it's worth it to do. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I don't want to get famous. Like I mean, like, okay, let me not say that I don't want to. I don't care if I get famous, but I don't want to get famous I don't want to get famous like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get online famous. I want no look all my followers famous. Like, because the truth of the matter is, if you're doing the work of Yahweh, people are going to get to know you. That's just what's gonna happen. That's just what's going to happen. So so yeah, I'm not gonna say I'm opposed to it. I don't care about it, but I'm not opposed to it. But like, it doesn't it doesn't help me if I have all these people that know my name and don't know who the fuck I am. You know what I mean? All that's gonna do is just gonna, as much as I don't want it to, and as much as I honestly probably wouldn't even let it get to me like that. There's still the possibility that it could get to my head and you could fuck me up, and I don't want that shit. I don't. Fame does things to people. I had a little. I'm setting up a little bit right now. I had a little bit of fame before in the town. For you guys that know me now, on the other side, I had a little bit of fame for a while. Just because people knew me and shit, and I was really fun to party. I'm sure you guys could guess that. So I had a little bit of fame for a minute, and it fucked me up. That's one huge reason why I really like. I guess you could say I had it, and like, it's not like fame, like a little fame, like they knew me and shit. So like I had I'm going the right way. Yes. So I had a little bit of experience with it. I don't want that again. Not like that. I don't care if it's good, genuine, and I keep and it doesn't fuck my head up. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. But if it's doing things to my mind and making me feel like, you know what I mean, like, I don't want that. It's not good for you. It's not. All right. So yeast at the bottom. All right. So today, like I said, I'm going to church. Check those people out. See, hopefully they're good people. It was a church that I used to frequent here and there when I used to go to church. And they knew more about the Bible than any church group or like organized church denomination that I had ever known. I mean, the Hebrew Israelites, because I'm going to call them Hebrew Israelites, like hard American accent, because most of those people think that this is like a religion. So they probably know the most. Hence the reason why they're the most dangerous, because they're pieces of shit, most of them. Yeah, but besides them, it's these other people. Seventh-day Adventists, if you're curious. Seventh-day Adventists. Now, don't get me wrong. The church that I frequented the most, well, the church I went to the most, fuck those people. Those people are trash. But these other people, I actually know one of them from when I was younger. At least one of them when I was younger. I haven't been there in a very long time, so. But I know at least one of them from when I was younger. I know she was always a wonderful lady. So I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna see what's up. And hopefully, I gotta just when I get there, I'm gonna make sure that I don't like, try to jump down their throat and be like, "Hey guys, you gotta be Israelite." I mean, not many gotta be Israelite because they already are Israelites. They just don't know it. But the key is to not like try to force it, because if you got something that someone else needs, do you try to force it on them? Nope. You might try to give to them, but if they say no, you're like, okay. Okay, dumbass. That's what everyone does. If you really got the juice, if you really got the soul, if you about to give someone $100 million, let's give it to that cardinal stupid way of thinking. If you about to give someone $100 million, like, yo, I got $100 million for you, bro. And they're like, and let's say like for like you cool with them. And it's like, I don't really know, man. Just be like, oh, word? All right, fuck you then. You walk away. So you got to keep that kind of type of mindset. Like, if you don't, like, oh, you don't want it? Okay. Okay, dumbass. All right. So we left off on our last verse was chapter 11, verse 9. We are now on chapter 11, verse 10. Bereshit. Genesis. Dude, don't tell me this shit just froze. Okay, Genesis. Quick note. I'll keep saying this more and more the closer we get to the book Shemot. Shemot is the second book of Moshe. It goes Bereshit, Shemot. Shemot is what people say is Exodus. Shemot. The closer I get to Shemot, well, better yet, let me say it better. Let me say this better, more. The further along I get in this, the less I'm going to use the English way of saying something in my nose. That's like part of my nose. Look at that. What is that? It's pretty gross, right? Hold on a minute. I don't know if that's like. All right. Sorry. All right. So yeah, the further on I get in the reading, the less I'm gonna keep like saying like translating like Shemot means Exodus and Moshe is Moses. I'm gonna stop saying that shit because like it's not right. Like Exodus is a fucked up book. Shemot is the book of our ancestors. Moses doesn't exist. Maybe there are people named Moses, but they're not our ancestor, so they don't really matter. All right, NSAB. Bereshit, chapter 11, verse 10. These are the records of the generations of Shim. So let's start this off right. Let's get these get the picture up, show y'all what to do. I want to do that one. Let's do that one's good. Why are you not loading? There you go. Are you? Oh, okay. Let's trash it. Good. Okay. All right, let me share my screen with y'all. It's recording, right? Yes. Okay. These are the generations. These are the records of the generation of Shim. Damn it. Actually, let me share real quick. So just for a recap, Noach. His boys were Shem in order of age. I don't know. The timeline's fucked up. It's wrong. It's not fucked up. I mean, there are things that are wrong. There are things that are wrong in all of the tools. To be completely honest, all right, it is. There are. But yeah, like I said, as long as you have the book and stuff, like you can put it all together. So Shem was the oldest, then Japhet, then Ham. On this here, it shows like you see how Shem is pretty much like in the middle, and then you have like Japhet is like closer to the top, and then Ham's in the right place, but Japhet it makes him look like he was the oldest. He wasn't the oldest, so we're just gonna put that out there just for a reminder. Okay, so Noach's sons were Shem, Ham, Japhet. So verse 10, these are the records of the generations of Shem. Strong. Shem was 100 years old, and he became the father of Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived 500 years after he became the father of Arphaxad, and he had other sons and daughters. Arphaxad lived 35 years, and he became the father of Shelah. And Arphaxad lived 403 years after he became the father of Shelah, and he had other sons and daughters. Shelah lived 30 years and became the father of Eber. Now, I think I might have explained this in the earlier video, last reading. Eber, that's where you get the word Ibrahim. Okay, it means to cross over. Loosely translates to crossing over. The experience of the house first. It's an ayin, a bet, which is the house, and a resh, which is your primary, your head. Okay, so it's the experience of the house being ha'aretz, or this universe, like you should say, first. So you have to cross back over into the experience that Jave intended for us. Excuse me, sorry, intended for us. I think the wine got me probably burping a little bit. Sorry. So that's where you get it from. Now, Ebed, it doesn't really say too much in here about Ebed. There's probably another book that has something to do with that says something about him. Because yeah, probably, but I don't know yet, because again, I have to get this down first. Yeah, okay, but that's where Eber is, like Ibrahim. Im, when you have a yod and a mem, which is an arm, which is your arm, yeah, it's an arm. It's like that, whatever. Your arm and the water, which is mem, it's plural. And also eat, which is tau, but we're not going to get into that. Oh, one more thing I forgot. That's what I meant to say before I started this. I'm sorry. I am gonna keep teaching Ibrahim the characters. Okay, I've been healing. Abaya, do I look healed any better? I feel like I look like more healed. Abaya has been healing me and showing me how to become stronger and healthier and better. So I haven't been. That's why I haven't been posting. And that's why I'm not carrying. And this probably, honestly, this coming week, I'm probably gonna do some more healing, but I don't know how that's gonna go. Abaya taking me through the motions. All right, so. Okay, so that's Eber. Okay, so let's pick it back up. Go from verse 14. A little bit. Okay. Shem is right up here. Let's go out a little bit more. 14. Oh, let's see. Race. So we had out of Faxad, Shelah, Eber. 14. Shelah lived 30 years and became the father of Eber. And Shelah lived 403 years after he became the father of Eber, and he had other sons and daughters. Eber lived 34 years and he became the father of Peleg. Remember Peleg? In the years of Peleg is when the nations, the people, we divided up the lands. Okay. For each nation of people. Well, I'm not sure if you want to call them nations yet. I don't think they were nations yet. And I'm actually probably going to do I don't know. I'll say it's gonna be a meditation on what a nation actually is. Okay. Yeah. Peleg. So yeah, in his days was when the nations were divided up. Or the people were divided up and we had our boundaries set. Peleg and he had other sons and so 17. And Eber lived 430 years. Wait, 430 years after he became the father of Peleg, and he had other sons and daughters. Peleg lived 30 years and he became the father of Reu. What? 19. And Peleg lived 209 years after he became the father of Reu, and he had other sons and daughters. Reu lived 32 years and became the father of Serug. Now, I'll keep going now and I'll pull that back up. 21. And Reu lived 207 years, and after he became the father of Serug, he had other sons and daughters. Serug lived 30 years and became the father of Nahor. You know what? Let me just change this real quick because I want you guys to see something in a minute. I'll make it purple. It's fine. Nahor. Okay. Back to red. The reason why I put Nahor in purple. 23. And Serug lived 230 years after he became the father of Nahor, and he had other sons and daughters. Nahor lived 29 years and he became the father of Terah. 25. And Nahor lived 119 years after he became the father of Terah, and he had other sons and daughters. Terah lived 70 years and became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Now, that's why I marked Nahor. Okay, so let's do this. Oh no. I know it's here somewhere. There's a lot of hey God, Abram, Haran. Okay, so I'm not sure why it doesn't say it here. I think it says it somewhere, but it's like hidden, and I just don't remember where. Sorry, I just don't. But here's the thing, okay? Nahor, there's two Nahors, okay? So this Nahor right here, and then there's a Nahor. I don't know where it is. I doubt that they missed it. I think I found it before and I lost it. But it doesn't really matter right now. Terah. Okay, this man right here, Terah. He was the father of Haran, and he was the father of Abram. It says Abram. Abram becomes Abraham later. Okay, he was the father of Haran and Abram, and also he had another son named Nahor. So his son was named after his father. Okay, so just so you know, he's not really mentioned in the book after this point. Oh my goodness, he's not really mentioned in the book after this point. But just so you know, that's what's going on. Just because, like, no one everyone had, like, most people at least share a name with somebody. I can't believe I should have named this hiccup so much. Most people share a name with someone. So that's what's going on. Okay. So let's hit it up again. 26. Terah lived 70 years and became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Now, these are the records of the generations of Terah. Terah became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran became the father of Lot. I'm gonna get over here. Haran became the father of. Hold on a minute. Let's do this. Let's do it the other way. Haran became the father of Lot. Okay. Haran died in the presence of his father Terah in the land of his birth in Ur of the Chaldeans. Abram and Nahor took wives. And I'm going to show you where Ur of the Chaldeans is in a minute. Abraham and Nahor took wives for themselves. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai. It's Shaddai. I don't know. It's not. It's Shaddai. And the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah, the daughter of Haran. Milcah, the daughter of Haran. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, I don't know why I don't see Nahor on there, but it's not that deep. But again, if we had because remember, this isn't our only book, okay? This isn't our only book. We had other books too. This is our main book, but we had other books noting our history, okay? So if we had our other books, I'm 100% sure that there's because there are times in this book where it references other books. Okay? So if we had our other books, I'm 100% sure that we would understand why some of these references are there. Okay, because like I said, Nahor is not the second Nahor is not mentioned at all, or he's not really mentioned at all. More in this, but it makes a point to talk about him. When it says the name of Abram's wife was Sharai, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah and Ishka. I'm sorry. He died? I thought it was. Yeah. Okay, my bad. Yeah. So yeah, the daughter of Haran. Yeah, the daughter of Haran. Remember, Haran died. Now here's another thing. Haran died, right? But Haran, it's not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure about this because I don't think there's a way to figure out with this book alone. But again, it's not that important. But Haran, I believe he actually left his father's house and made a settlement elsewhere. I believe so. And I think when he died in front of his father, he either had come back to visit or he was or his father went to visit him. And the reason is because there's a city named Haran. Again, these are things that you really can't you just I unless I mean it's possible that it's that the explanation is in Ibrahim in our book, but I doubt it just because it's not that important to the rest of the events. And it's not our lineage. So I doubt it, but it could be. So we're gonna keep going. Father Milkan Iska. And also Iska, Haran's daughters, Milka and Iska. Iska isn't mentioned ever again. Hence the reason why I believe I don't think there's a reason. I think you have to have another book. And Milka, I don't think she's ever mentioned again either. So 1130. Shaddai was barren. She had no child. 31. Terah took Abram. Oh, let me show you where Ur of the Chaldeans is, and then we'll keep it pushing. Space. Oh, I know why I said that. 11. There's oh shit. Cool. That's where it is. I didn't think I was gonna get it so good. All right, so let's do some little geography. So this is Ur of the Chaldeans. Okay. Babel was up here where the 4 dots are. Oh, let's do a little drawing on here, huh? So this is where this was the land of Shinar. Okay, Babel was about here, or so they say. It was probably. Is there a mountain there somewhere? That's what I was trying to find. Oh, there. I think there is a mountain. I know I said there wasn't. Well, it doesn't really matter. Oh, maybe that whole thing is a mountain. I can't tell. Doesn't really matter. So that's Shinar and Babel is right here. Okay. So you can see they were remember because they were in Babel, and then after Abaya jacked up their languages, they all moved away. So they ended up in Ur the Chaldeans. Now, this waterway, you can see like the waterway, you can see the waterway kind of starting to create itself here. It was probably a whole waterway here too, before the pieces of shit took over the world, but they're gonna lose it soon, so whatever, I guess. But you can see the whole waterway building up. You can see a little bit here. Let's go out a little bit. Okay. So this is what is considered the King's Highway. Okay, or the Melech Highway. Now the reason it's called that is because let's do it in there. I'm gonna give you a little bit of Hebrew lesson here, baby. You know I got to do it. You know I got to do it. Okay. So we got Mem, Lamed, Aleph, Kaf. So Mem, water. It's genuinely what that is actually talking about. Water. Lamed is the staff, so it forces you. It's not forces you, but it's telling you where to go. It guides you. Okay. Aleph is the authority because you can't get from this side. Let me change the color real quick. You can't get from this side over here to this side unless you go through that path. Okay. So that's why it's in Aleph. It's an authority. And then Kaf is the palm of your hand because it conforms. So you have to conform to that authority that guides you along the waterway. Now remember, the Garden of Eden was pretty much right here. So that's why that is the main. That's why it got king. That's why Melech is really what it is. Sorry, Melech means angel, king, and also, well, Melech. Because you really can't say this. You can say this is the angel highway. I don't know the word for that. It's not as important in this part right here, but it does mean Melech means high. Melech means angel, king, and Melech. Like I said, see the problem with that's a huge problem with trying to translate it into English. Okay, because one, like me, I am a Melech. Okay, like straight up, I can say that quite frankly at this point. But the problem with saying that, the problem with translating it into English, it sounds fucking weird, either weird or pompous. Okay, because when I go around saying, if I were to go around saying telling people I'm an angel, it sounds fucking weird. Like if you know me and you know that I'm not bullshitting about all the shit I'm doing, then you're like, okay, I can see why you would say that, and you understand what I'm saying. Like, okay, yeah, I get it. But like if you don't, then you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, nigga, you don't got wings, yeah, because that's not what it's saying. And then if you go around saying like, yeah, I'm a king, that's super fucking pompous. You see what I'm saying? It's super pompous. And then what am I supposed to say? Or the third thing I can say, I'm a river route. See what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense, right? I'm a king, an angel, and a river route. No, it doesn't make sense. I'm a melech, and that's why I have to push toward using the correct words. I can't keep using English when I refer to like Moshe, Bereshit, Shemot, things like that. I can't keep using English because it doesn't make sense. Again, like if we're gonna translate it to English, if I went around saying everyone, I'm a waterway, it was like, what's wrong with you? What the fuck are you talking about? See, if I go around saying I'm an angel, what the fuck are you talking about? If I go around saying I'm a king, and they're gonna be like, oh, you're an asshole. See, so there you go. All right. So that's the king, and that's why the song I sing, I got the victory, hallelujah. Every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess. It's a highway to heaven. Oh, nothing's gonna walk up there. Oh yeah, and I will be walking up the King's Highway. That's what it's talking about. It's not talking about some magical fucking place where you just walk up some highway of gold or some shit. I don't know. It's not, okay? It's talking about an actual place, Meleok way. Hallelujah. All right. Okay. So Terah 31. Terah took Abram his son and Lot, the son of Haran, his grandson, and Sharai, his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife, and they went out together from Ur of the Chaldeans in Chaldeans in order to enter the land of Canaan. And they went far as I'll keep going. And they went as far as Haran and settled there. Now, see, this is why I said Haran, and I don't even know where Haran is actually. Can I find that? I should be able to find it because I'm pretty sure it's up. It has to be up here because there it goes. See? So it went from Ur the Chaldeans and they went all the way up to Haran. Okay. Now that is the reason why I can't say without a doubt that this is the same Haran, but probably I'm saying probably, or I'm not gonna say probably. Well, it seems to me, so I'm gonna guess yes. But again, it doesn't really change much in the events. Yeah. And they settled there. 32. The days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. And also, it's kind of like poetic. It's actually very poetic. Haran died in front of his father in Ur of the Chaldeans. They had to have been in Ur because they moved from Ur. And then Terah moved Abram, Lot, Shaddai, and all the people. Mind you, they were. It's gonna say later on they were all fucking filthy rich. So they moved all of them up to Haran, and then he died in Haran. I think it's beautiful, honestly. Like, anyway, 12, chapter 12. Now, Yahweh said to Abram, go forth from your country and from your relatives and from your father's house to the land which I will show you, and I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great. And so you shall be a blessing, and I will bless those who bless you, and the ones who curse you, I will curse. Now, I want to actually get into something real quick with that, okay? Oh man, I don't think I'm gonna get to as far as I wanted to. Probably not. It's just there's a lot of information to give you guys because I'll just keep saying like, hey, show them this, show them this, show them this. Oh, you like that? I got you, Ben. Ben means son, by the way. Ben. I got you, Ben. Let's see. Oh Lord. Okay, so on chapter 12, verse 3, and I will bless those who bless you. And the one who curses you, I will curse. The curse and curse, those two curses are two different words. Okay, so let me just explain real quick. Shittington. Kalal. Now, you might recognize this word from my music, the name of my music compilation that I'm making. Kalal. Nechoshet kalal. Now it doesn't mean, it means burnt brass is what my music compilation is, but it doesn't mean curse. Kalal. It's a kuf, which is a sun and a horizon, on the horizon, and then two lamids, which is shepherd staff. So what it means is they focus the shepherd staff to guide. Okay. So they're focusing their shepherd staff to guide you. They're actually going out to try and make you do something, make something happen to you. Okay. They're not just being a shepherd to you. Okay. They're actively moving toward you doing something. Okay. So, with that being said, the question is posed: this is that good or bad? Well, in this case, definitely bad. But can it be good? Kind of, yes and no. But when you say it's a curse, in context, no. But that's why you have to. The more you know about Hebrew, the more you know about any language, really, you can understand the context more. But yeah, kalal. In this is they're focusing they're focusing their staff, their influence. They're focusing their influence to move you to do something, okay, or something to happen to you. But when you go to the second curse, he says, "I will curse." He will aleph is aleph resh resh. So it's the authority, the ox head. So he will authoritatively uh how do you say it? Like he'll authoritize, he'll do an authority on their head primarily. He'll do something to their head. He'll fuck up their head. That's what we'll say, in a big way. He'll fuck their head up in a big way. Okay, or not even just their head. He'll fuck up their head, their primary things. Like the primary things in their life will get fucked up, will get jacked up. Their head, their life, their family, their whatever it is. Okay, so there's a difference when we curse versus he curses. Two different things. Now, mind you, cursing is not bad either. We can curse other people, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. But if you curse Abram, you're fucked. But he's gone now, and I don't know if that really goes for us anymore. We'll see. Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to the map because we got some movement to do. Today would be great. There you go. All right. 12 verse 3. And I will bless those who bless you, and the ones who curses you, I will curse. And in all the families of the earth, and in you, all the families of the earth will be blessed. So Abraham got his ass up. He was like, all right, deuces, and went forth as Yahweh had spoken to him. And Lot went with him because Lot was like, I'm down, Unc. What's good? Now, Abraham was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. Now, mind you, this is telling you something, okay? At 75 years old, he got up and he traveled. Now, mind you, he was filthy fucking rich. He had livestock, he had servants, he had a whole bunch of people with him and all that shit, okay? So it wasn't like some old rickety man walking down the street. No, he was jacked as hell, okay? He was jacked. He could beat everyone's ass, and that's on the planet right now. I guarantee you without a doubt that there's no one on the planet that could beat him up right now. No one would come close to it. At 75, he'd fuck everyone up. Okay, because like think about it, there's no way at 75 that you have that much respect where you could have pretty much a village of people following you, which is exactly what it was. And trust me, we'll get to that point. You'll be like, oh shit, yeah, you're right. Okay, so he was jacked as fuck. He beat everyone's ass. Okay. Okay, let's go do 4 again. So Abram went forth as Yahweh had spoken to him, and Lot went with him. Now, Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. Abram took Sarai, his wife, and Lot, his nephew, good nephew, and all their possessions which they had accumulated, and the persons which they had acquired in and the persons which they had acquired in Haran. Now, see, like that's what he's saying. The people that he acquired, he was filthy fucking rich. Okay, and they set out for the land of Canaan. Now, remember, Israel is the land of Canaan. Okay, actually, let me go back and make a little bit because it goes from the river of Egypt all the way up to Euphrates. Okay, so that's Israel. Not that random island out there though, but yeah. Okay, let's do little squiggly. No erasing. All right, so that's the land of Canaan is Israel. It's legally ours. It's legally ours. Yes, Canaan settled there first, but it's ours. It is. Okay. All right. Go back at 5. Abram took Shaddai, his wife, and Lot, his nephew, and all the possessions which they had accumulated, and the person which they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan. Thus they came to the land of Canaan. Verse 6. Abram passed through the land as far as the site of Shechem. Hold on. Are you serious? So we're just not gonna. No, not more. Shechem. Zoom in. No, there's a reason why I do this. Okay, more than now. They just don't really know the exact coordinates and such. But this is the pretty much where it was. So 6. Abram passed through land as far as the site of Shechem. Okay, so it's about there. To the oak of Moreh. Now the Canaanite was in the land. The Canaanite was in the land. At that time, the Canaanite was in the land. Now it said, I have to tell you something again. The oak of Moreh. There is no fucking tree. There's no fucking tree. Okay, this is a translational error. It's translational error. Okay. Okay. So the shit. Let's do that. Make it look nice. Okay. So the word is Aleph, Lamed, Vav, Nun. Shit. How do I do this? Let's make the C a little bit bigger. Okay. So authority. Al. Al is authority that moves things, or the authority that influences, connected to the continuing. This is seed. Okay. So it's a ox, a shepherd staff, a tent peg, and a seed. So again, the authority that influences connected to continuing. So what this means is they say it's a tree, because an oak is a very strong tree. When it comes to if you have a forest of oaks, if you have a forest in general, actually, the oak is going to be the strongest. Is going to be one of the strongest trees, if not the strongest. So it's an authority that is connected to the continuing, because if that tree, like, that's going to be the hardest tree to cut down. See what I'm saying? So people aren't going to. It's going to be the thing that keeps the forest continuing. So in this reference, it doesn't mean they're not talking about an oak. They're not talking about a tree. They're talking about what the word actually means is the strong ones of Moreh. Okay, to talk about people, like he went down. Let's read it again from 6. Nigga, I know I did the thing, but whatever. Okay, from 6. And Abraham passed through the land as far as Shechem. Let's go back to the map. And Abraham passed through the land of Shechem to the strong ones of Moreh. Okay, you get it now, and that's why it says like Moreh, because they don't really realize that Moreh is not. It's not a place, or well, it is it's not a place. In this, it's not a place. It might be a place, but they're not talking about a place. They're talking about the strong ones of the tribe of Moreh, if you will. Okay, that's what they're saying. Okay, to the oaks of Moreh now, or no, to the strong ones of Moreh. So he went around like diesel niggas. All right. Now the Canaanite, and at this, and let me say it like this, and at this point, the Canaanite was in the land. Okay. Okay. Verse 7. Okay, so Yahweh appeared to Abram and said, to your descendants I will give this land. So he built an altar there to Yahweh, who had appeared to him. Now, again, let me just go back again. So he built an altar there to the hand of the great connector that appeared to him. Okay, so that's saying something. That doesn't mean that, that means that in whatever way specifically that Yahweh decided to appear to him, he built an altar to that specific way that he appeared to him. Okay, that is specific. He built an altar that to that specific incarnation of Javed, to the hand of the great connector. Okay. Again, 7. Javed appeared to Abraham and said, "To your descendants I will give this land." So he built an altar there to Javed, who had appeared to him. Then he proceeded from there to the mountain on the east of Beth-El. Beth-El. Oh, let's close in a little bit. You're gonna want to see this. It's kind of interesting. Shit. Then he proceeded from there to the mountain on the east of Beth-El and pitched his tent with Beth-El on the west and Ai on the east. And another thing I'm gonna give a lesson on this. East is to us, east is upward. That's why like this, I always like if you see me doing this shit, this is the only thing I'll ever throw up. East side. There's a reason for this. It's all about Israel. Like straight up east side type shit. Legit. All right. That's it. Hi. I'm sorry. Let's go back again from 8. Then he proceeded from there to the mountain on the east of Beth-El and pitched his tent with Beth-El on the west and Ai on the east. And there he built an altar to Javeh and called upon the name of Javeh. So it actually would be like this. And let me give you a big view. This is how our map would look. Okay. A little bit confusing because I know most of us aren't used to that. But let's take a look at America, or what's called America now, just so you can kind of get a little point of reference here. What the fuck? The hell? Here we go. Oh, this isn't good. Oh, this isn't really helping. Oh, it kind of is. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yo, I think I just found out. I think I just found another clue to one of the secrets of history. Oh, shit. I didn't Yo! Okay. I'm gonna get to it later, but whoa! Okay, forget it. I'll do this. I'll show you. Oh wait, I can't make it bigger. Okay. Oh shit, I did. How did I see that? Okay, I'm gonna get to that later. How did I see that? Okay, I'm gonna get to that later. Holy shit. Whoa. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Sorry guys. I can't believe I just figured that out. Holy shit. I thought that was. All right. Yeah. I don't think we're gonna get as far as I wanted today. How didn't I see that shit before? Okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Let's keep going. 8. Let's go from 8. Then he proceeded from there to the mountain on the east of Beth-El and pitched his tent with Beth-El on the west and Ai on the east. And there he built an altar to Javeh and called upon the name of Javeh. 9. Abraham journeyed on, continuing toward the south. Negeb is the south. Now, let me show you something real quick. Negeb. Now, Negeb really isn't all the way down there. It's actually, if I remember correctly, it's more up here somewhere. But Negev is not really. Negev is like a. Oh, I'm changing it to red. I know it's definitely clicked out, but okay. I think it was like around here, if I'm not mistaken. But Negev means south. It's kind of really hard to. It's kind of hard to explain exactly why. Well, not really. It's because, truthfully, it's because from what at least one of the reasons is because this. Let's give you this real quick. Noon. Gimel. Gamel. Negeb. And bait. Okay, so we got seed continuing. Continuing the journey, or the not really, the support, I guess you could say, of the house. Now the reason is because two reasons actually. Abraham went to the south. Uh Abraham went to the south, one, at this point, and this is when Yahweh called to him. And then Jacob. Later on, you'll see Jacob and Israel before we became a nation, but when we were a family, but we weren't a nation yet. We went to the south to Mizraim, Egypt. Again, that's another word I'm not gonna keep saying Egypt. But Mizraim, when we went south to Mizraim because of the famine. And I believe he goes down south to Mizraim for a famine. Oh, yep, he does. He does. He goes to there for a famine again. So to continue the support, to continue supporting the house, he had to go down. Now, because you got to remember that this book is relative to the nation and to the body of land also. Okay, so that's why south, the word for south is relative to our history. Oh, yes, I smell the alcohol. It's relative to our history. Okay, so that's why it's Negev. So it says it goes toward the Negev. It goes toward the south. Okay, Negev is not a town or anything, but it does reference Negev again. Shoot, it does reference Negev again. Okay, because what happens is when I get to it, I'll show you what I mean. It references it again. Okay, 12:10. Now, it says right here. Now there was a famine in the land, so Abraham went down to Mizraim to sojourn there. See, and sojourn is just like to go down there and like be with them for a while until you can get back on your feet. All right, they had I don't know what happened. They had some type of resource where they could support other people if you had the resources to give them money, gold, silver, all that type of stuff. Well, money is gold, silver, not necessarily, whatever, but yeah. So it's 10. Now there was a famine in the land, so Abraham went down to Mizraim to sojourn there, for the famine was severe in the land. 11. It came about when he came to Mizraim, near Mizraim, that he said to Shaddai, his wife, "See now, I know that you are beautiful, that you are a beautiful woman. And when the people of Mizraim see you, they will say, 'This is his wife,' and they will kill me, but they will let you live." Now, mind you, Shaddai at this point was like 60 something. She was like 60, like 69, 68, some shit. And she was still beautiful. So I really hate saying this, but it is rooted in some truth. You know, I'm not saying it. Fuck it, no. So because people of Israelites, genetic Israelites, we tend to age very, very well, and it's because of the fact that we follow for generations, for thousands of years, we follow the diet that Yahweh had given us. Okay, so we didn't age. We don't age like most people. Okay, and then when other tribes, families, whatever, join Israel, they get the benefits and they don't age. They stop aging like the rest of the world does too, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, that's the thing. We like when you see me, people see me and they think, "Oh yeah, you look young." I'm like, I don't look young. I don't look young. I look like a normal Israelite. Okay. Think about it. If this woman was 60, was in her late 60s, easily, definitely in her late 60s, and he's like, "Yo, like, I'm afraid that people might kill me because you're so beautiful." See what I'm saying? And I'm sure she was graying. Well, I'm not sure she was graying. She's probably graying at this point, though. She's probably graying. But yeah, just point, okay. And to everyone out there, if you start reading this book and you start doing everything in this book, like I know you might want to just try to skip to the diet part and try to figure that out and be like, "Oh yeah, now I can look young." It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I promise you, it's not gonna work because you're not gonna have the understanding and knowledge to know how to really use it. And I'm not explaining it to you. I'm not explaining it to anybody. I had no intentions of really explaining it to anyone ever, unless you were like in my house, because it's a lot. It's a lot to explain. A lot to explain. And again, you have to start from the beginning. I mean, if I get to it, once I get to it, I'll explain it more and more as I can. But I mean, there's so much knowledge in here that I just literally can't get to. So yeah, well, to teach everyone, because it's just too much time, way too much time. I gotta give you guys the meat first, the prime meat first. Let's go from 12. And when the people of Mizraim see you, they will say, this is his wife, and they will kill me, but they will let you live. 13. So please say that you are my sister, so that it might go well with me because of you, and that I might live on your own, and that I may live on account of you. Sorry. 14. It came about when Abraham came to Mizraim. The people of Mizraim saw that the woman was very beautiful. Pharaoh's officials saw her and praised her to Pharaoh. It was like, yo, that woman is bad, man. And the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. Therefore, he treated Abram well for her sake, and gave him sheep and oxen and donkeys, and male and female servants, and female donkeys and camels. But Yahweh struck Pharaoh and his house with great plagues, because Sarai, Abram's wife. Then Pharaoh called Abram and said, what is it that you've done to me? Like, why did you not tell me that she was your wife? Like, why did you say this is my sister so that I could take her for my wife? Now then, here's your wife. Take her and go. Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they escorted him away with his wife and all that belonged to him. So now, two things. When they escorted him away, because at this time the Pharaoh of Mizraim, he wasn't like a shitbag. Clearly, because he was talking to Yahweh. He had a relationship with Yahweh. Okay. Now that is saying something, because like a lot of the fucking niggers on the corner, they always want to be like they always want to try to act like people that aren't Israelites can't know Yahweh. Yeah, no, fuck them. They're a piece of shit. Okay. Pharaoh knew Yahweh. Okay. And he's not an Israelite. Okay. 2, he didn't try to take his sheep or oxen back. Everything that he gave him for keeps. Okay. Which is pretty dope. And 3, I'm just gonna be completely blunt, because niggas is nasty these days. So I was worried when I was reading this. I was worried. I'm like, did he have sex with her? Because I didn't want, like, my great grandma to be like essentially get raped. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that shit happening. I don't want any of my family. I don't want anyone, period, getting raped, especially my family, right? But I looked at the words in Hebrew, and she didn't get raped. Hallelujah. But that brings me to a certain point. So, and this is something that I think you guys want to hear just from me specifically, okay? So back in when things weren't so fucked up that they are right now, men weren't chasing women. Okay, men. I mean, like, not for real. Because if a man, like, if pretty much all men are going to treat you well, like, it just wasn't happening. All right, it wasn't happening. Men weren't chasing women because there was no real reason to. All the men were pretty much handsome and they knew how to treat their women well. Okay, so it wasn't like a man chasing a woman. Like, if you want, like, like, there was some chase, but it wasn't like these thirsty niggas nowadays. Okay, that's one huge thing. Second thing is this. Men would have more than one woman in their house, but that does not mean that they were fucking them. Okay? That does not mean that they were fucking them. I'm putting it out there right now. In my house, I'm going to have women in my house. I'm going to have a lot of women in my house. But I'm not going to be fucking them. I'm not going to be fucking all of them. I'm not going to be fucking most of them. That's nasty. That's fucking nasty. And one of our kings did that, and I, maybe his situation is different, but from what I'm seeing, it's pretty fucking nasty. I'm not down with that shit. I'm down with having women in my house because, like, women, they're useful just like men. Oh my goodness, they're useful just like men are. I mean, not just like men, but they're useful as men are also in their own way. So, like, yeah, of course, man, I have women in my house. But just because you're in a man's house doesn't mean that he's gonna have sex with you. Doesn't mean he's gonna have a relationship with you. No stupid, no shit like that. Okay, so I want to say with me, same shit. Just because you're in my house doesn't mean that we're gonna have sex. Doesn't mean we're ever gonna get together ever. Okay, ever. Number one, and number two. Let's just say Pharaoh didn't have a wife. He probably had a wife at this point, but let's say he didn't have one. Okay, he still didn't have sex with her. Now, everybody, y'all can do what y'all want to do, but I'm not with this shit. Okay, I've honestly I've never really like. At one point, I got to this point, and this is probably when I was really severely brainwashed. But I don't I it's not normal for me, and I definitely don't want to do it anymore. But only for that one small period of time did I ever want this type of relationship where I moved in with someone. And then we started having sex right away. Actually, I never really wanted that. Actually, I never really wanted that. Yeah, I never really wanted that. Okay, so that's just to say, like, I don't really. I like doing things old school. Is what I'm saying. These men were great men. Okay, these were great men. They didn't just, and they could get they like, think about it. This Pharaoh literally just went and like, oh, well, she's bad. Like, yo, bro, go get her for me, son. Like, yeah, go get her. What you talking about? Yeah, like he like that's the kind of man he was, and it was, you know what I mean. He just came and took her. Like, you know what I mean. So, like, I don't, this wasn't like the men would take women, but they wouldn't take them and then start having crazy wild sex with them. Okay, they wouldn't just, they're not taking women just to get their dick wet. Okay, is what I'm saying. So with that, yeah, I just want to put that out there. Like, just because you can, and this goes with the Tower of Babel also. Just because you can doesn't mean that you should. And if you take a woman into your house as a man, first off, you need to make sure that your foundation is rooted within Javeh, and that you're not trying to move her in just to get your dick wet, and that you are strong enough to say no to her, because women can speak to you and make you do things. Okay. I don't know about anybody else, but for me, breaking up hurts. So I don't like that shit. 13, chapter 13. So Abraham went up from Mizraim to the Negev. So now you see the south again, right? So now if he's in Mizraim, right? Let me show you. And this is why I have to say this is all relative. Mizraim is over here, okay? Or maybe it's over here. One of these two areas, right? So he said he went up from Mizraim to the south, right? Now the south would be to the east to them. It looks ugly. The south would be east for them, right? But you know why it is actually the south? Because it's all relative. Moshe is writing it as if you were in the land of Israel. So the south of Israel is still down this way. So even if you're coming from over here, or if you're coming from over here, come from over here. I don't know, whatever. The south, if you're going toward this area, hold on. I got to change this color at least. If you're going toward this area, right? Let me change the color again. If you're coming here, if you're coming toward this area, it's always going to be the Negev. It's going to be because it is the south of the land of Israel. Okay? Remember, everything's relative in this book because it's about us. Okay. 13. So Abraham went up from Egypt to the Negev, to the south, to the Negev. And that's why you don't want to say to the south. That's why it puts Negev instead of to the south. He and his wife and all that belonged to him, and Lot with him. Oh, and mind you, Lot wasn't like a boy. Lot was a grown-ass man, and he had his own shit too. He was loaded too. Verse 2. Now, Abram was, it says right here. Now, Abram was very rich in livestock, in silver, and in gold. See, he was very rich. I'm gonna read that again. All right, just because niggas out here, they have those fucking weird ass pictures of those rickety ass niggas that for some weird reason are very light skinned. Which again, like y'all know, I don't give a fuck about what color skin you are, but like this, it's wrong. So they have these rickety ass niggas that for whatever reason those fucking weird niggers made them light skinned because they care about the color of their skin, I guess. So whatever. So get that idea of some man out your head. It's not him. Okay. Again, verse 2. Now Abram was very rich in livestock, in silver and in gold. He went on his journeys from the Negev as far as Bethel, to the place where he was, where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai. I'm not sure if I can find it. Oh, it's right here. Right here. So where was he? He was between Bethel and Ai. So he was right here. Okay, probably on that mountain there, actually. I mean, if I were him, I'd do it's somewhere. He was somewhere around here. Okay. There. Verse 4. Let's do verse 3. He went on journeys from Negev as far as Bethel to the place where his tent had been in the beginning between Bethel and Ai. 4. To the place of the altar which he had made there formerly. And there Abram called on the name of the hand of the great connector Javeh. Now, some more deep shit. Verse 5. Now Lot, who went with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents. See, he was rich too. Okay. And the land could not sustain them while dwelling together, for their possessions were so great that they were not able to remain together. These niggas were so rich that they couldn't share land together. Okay. 7. And there was strife between the herdsmen of Abram's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. Again, they were bosses, nigga. All right. 7. And there was strife between the herdsmen of Abram's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. Now, the Canaanite and the Perizzite were dwelling then in the land. And let me say at this point, the Canaanite and the Perizzite were dwelling in the land. Okay, so Israel was it was first it was inhabited by the Canaanite first, and then Canaanite, and then the Perizzite came along after when they came back from Mizraim. Perizzites moved in also. Now remember, the strong ones of Moreh, they were still there. Okay, they weren't close enough to them because obviously, like, if Lot and Abram had problems herding together, then they all had to spread out. Okay, but they were around. Just a reminder. So 13:8. So Abram said to Lot, "Please let there be no strife between us, between you and me, nor between my herdsman and your herdsman. For like we're aki." 9. Is not the whole land before you? Look, please just separate from me. If you go to the left, I'll go to the right. If you go to the right, I'll go to the left. So Lot lifted up his eyes and saw the whole valley of Jordan. Jordan? Is that Jordan right there? No, it's Last Shot. Where's Jordan? It should be over here somewhere. Jordan, where the fuck are you? Jordan's over here somewhere, and I don't remember where. No, not Sodom. Moab. Dude, that's not as salty. Where the shit is Jordan? Where the fuck? It can't be down here until R. Nope, that's where the war is. Hold on, guys. Come on. Okay. Oh. Search. Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna have to exit and come back, aren't I? That's gay. Okay. So I just need to show you something. because he didn't walk all the way up there. The map is just wrong again. They don't know what they're talking about. Okay, so the Valley of Jordan, Jordan. Okay, so it says Jordan Valley, right? It says all the way the fuck up here. Oh, stupid. So you see this waterway? Let me show you. Now this waterway that goes all the way down until the Dead Sea or the Salt Sea, whichever you want to call it. Okay, right? They were over here. The nigga didn't go all the way up here. Lot didn't go all the way up there. Okay, Lot went down here. Actually, Lot went down here, and I'm 100% sure he went. Oh, the circle's right where it needs to be. He went down there. Okay, the Valley of Jordan. Shit, the Valley of Jordan. It starts all the way the fuck up here in this watery something, and it goes all the way down. You got the river, which I don't know what river that is. It's the Dead Sea, and it's still a valley. The Dead Sea is still a valley, and then it goes into this water thing. But I know, like I said, 100% sure that he went down here. Okay. Okay, so he didn't go up. The people that did this map just didn't know what they were doing. 13:10. Lot lifted up his eyes and saw all the valley of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere. This was before Yahweh destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Like the garden of Yahweh, and like the land of Mizraim as you go to Zoar. Now I want to mention something else. We haven't gotten to Sodom and Gomorrah yet. Hamorah, I think it is Hamorah. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how to. Oh, it is Hamorah. Oh shit, Hamorah. Okay, so we haven't gotten to Sodom and Amorah yet, and we haven't gotten to Mizraim yet. Now, the reason that it brought this up, one of the a point I should say that of it bringing it up now is this: everyone on the planet has heard of Sodom and I'll say it in that way because I'm still trying to work out how to pronounce it. Everyone on the planet has heard of Sodom and Gomorrah. Everyone on the planet has heard of Mizraim, even though they call it Egypt. Everyone has heard of it. Everyone. There's not a person on the planet that hasn't heard of it. So as Moshe is writing this, he's making a point to say that these events were so fucking gigantic that even though I haven't even gotten to this point in the event, I haven't gotten to this event yet. Whoever's reading this knows what happened. And if there's anyone on the planet that says that they don't, they're fucking lying. Everyone knows. Everyone fucking knows. These were two of the biggest events to ever happen in all of history. Everyone fucking knows what happens to Sodom and Gomorrah. Everyone fucking knows what happens to Mizraim. Even though they call it Egypt, everyone fucking knows. Okay? All right. Oh, and the Garden of Yahweh was Garden of Eden. I'm not gonna explain why it doesn't say Eden right now. It's not that deep. But everyone's heard of the Garden of Eden too. Everyone. Anyone that says they haven't heard of these three places is a fucking liar. Everyone has. Everyone has. And as you go to Zohar, okay. 11. So Lot chose for himself all the valley of the Jordan, and Lot journeyed eastward. See, and that's why. See, this is what I'm saying. He had to go this way. Yeah, he went to what's the right now? Oh, whatever. I'll keep going. So Lot chose for himself all the valley of Jordan, and Lot journeyed eastward. Thus, they separated from each other, and Abraham settled in the land of Canaan. Oh shit! Hold on, I have a note here. Oh, yeah, okay. 12. 13:12. Abraham settled in the land of Canaan, while Lot settled in the cities of the valley and moved his tents as far as Sodom. So that means this, okay? So Lot, he went over to the east. Now remember, because Lot had a whole bunch of money, okay? He was rich. He had a whole bunch of money, a whole bunch of tents, all that shit, right? Right? So what he did was this. Him and his camp moved over here, right? And then they camped all along here. Now, why is that important? Well, let's keep reading. 12. Abraham settled in the land of Canaan, while Lot settled in the cities of the valley and moved his tents as far as Sodom. That's why it's important. Because it said that he went from the east, so he means he started up. He was up here. He had some people up here, right? And he went and they pitched their tents even all the way down to here, which is where Sodom is. Sodom, right there. So he didn't go directly up to Sodom, but he got damn near close. Now the problem is from a tactical standpoint, as far as like let's say war, because we're gonna get into war in a little bit. His forces, I guess you could say, were spread out. Yeah, wasn't a very good tactical decision. Okay, because like I said, his forces, his camp was all along the valley. He didn't have a square, you know, circle. No, he had a long thing. See, so that's what the problem was. Yeah. At this point, it's not always a problem if you can fortify, but he couldn't fortify. Okay. And also, he kind of got ambushed because he wasn't really trying to fight nobody. All right. Sodom. Now 13. Now, the men of Sodom were wicked exceedingly and sinners against Yahweh. It was nasty niggas. 14. Yahweh said to Abram, after Lot had Yahweh said to Abram after Lot had separated from him, now lift up your eyes and look from the place where you are. Look north, south, east. I don't know. I'll say northward, will southward, will eastward, will westward. For all the land which you see, I'll give it to you and to your descendants forever. That's us. It's our land. I will make your descendants as the dust of the earth, so that if anyone can number the dust of the earth, then your descendants can also be numbered. So that's another thing. The census has always been wrong. Always. It's never been right. And honestly, they probably tried to make it right. Yeah. Because then they can keep, if they keep a number on us, they can keep tally on us. It's never been right. Java said this can't be right. They can't get it right. We can, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like we can do it. They can't. 17, I believe. I know that they can't. So that I know they can't. I think we can because later on it says they lose to it, but I didn't really look into it now. Whatever. 17. Arise. Walk about the land through its length and its breadth, for I will give it to you. Then Abram moved his tent and came and dwelt by the strong ones of Mamre, which are in Hebron, and there he built an altar to Yahweh. Hebron is very important, by the way. We'll get to that in a minute. How much time have I got? Yes, man. I really wish I could see. Let me stop sharing for a second. I really wish you knew how long I went. Because I really want to get to this one specific part. And we're right there. So I'm gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. I have a hard stop at 11 though, guys. I'm gonna try to get to this point. But I gotta go to I have to go to church. Check out these people. Make sure I'm praying that they're not shitbags. I'm really praying. I really hope they're not. So I gotta check these people out. Hopefully they're good people, or at least just confused. If they're just confused, then that's fine. We can work with that. But if they're liars, then Uh, yeah, their building might be getting torched eventually. Hopefully not. I pray not. So yeah, it's gonna be at least like 25 more minutes. Okay. And then I gotta convert it and then I gotta upload it. Okay. 14, chapter 14. And it came about in the days of Amraphel. Okay, so this is the point of let me share my screen again. This is where a war of kings happened. Now, the war is not of any kings of Israel, and I'm not gonna really get into that much of the history about it because it's not our history directly. It just has to do with this is really making this is really markers so we can check it against other historical points in history. Um invalidate it helps validate our Bible or our book, which we really don't need. We don't need this much information, truthfully. This is just like adding insult to injury because like it's perfect. So, and it came about in the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elasar, Chelomir, king of Elam, and Tedal, king of Goyim, that they made war with Bera, king of Sodom, and with Bereshah, king of Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Admah, and Shemeber, king of Zeboim. So I'll at least give you this. One faction was down here. This is pretty much one faction, and I believe, and again, that's definitely where one faction was. I believe that the other faction was up here somewhere. Shit. I believe the other faction was up. Why are you not working? Was up here somewhere, I believe, but it doesn't really matter that much right now. Okay, it just doesn't. I could like press the things, but I didn't really think about it. It's not that deep. It's not deep. I promise. It's really not that deep right now. Okay. So now you see though faction and if the second faction isn't up here, one of the factions goes back up here. The other faction goes this way, goes in this direction either way. Okay, so just to give you a reason why I'm saying that. Okay, so now you can see how this could be a problem for Lot. Why? Because one faction is down there, where the ping is around there, and the other faction is up here. He's directly in the middle, and all of his forces are spread out. See what the problem is? Okay. And this is why this actually this is why it tells you all this stuff actually, so you can get the locations and see why this happens to Lot. Okay. So let's keep going. So let's go for 14. Top 14. And it came about in the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elasar, Chedorlaomer, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of Goyim, that they made war with Bera, king of Sodom, and with Bereshah, king of Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Admah, and Shemebir, king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, that is Zoar. All these came as allies to the valley of Siddim, that is the Salt Sea. See? Now, Siddim, I believe, is over here, I think. Where is Siddim? They didn't fight like right in front of Lot. I know that for a damn fact. Valley of Siddim is over here. So more than likely they went around the other side. They probably went down this way. Because if they didn't, they would have ran right into Lot, number one. And two, tactfully, if they came from this side, the inhabitants of Sodom would be able to see them a lot easier. See? So it makes more sense for them to come this way. Because the Valley of Siddim, people weren't really living there like that. That's where they fought. At least that's where they fought. It doesn't make sense for them to go down this way and then cross over. Because then they would have to deal with Sodom. Right, like right before they even got to the Valley of Siddim, they would have to start fighting the Sodomites. Okay. So yeah, so they came down from this way first. Okay. 14:3. All these came as allies to the Valley of Siddim, that is the Salt Sea. 12 years they had served Chedorlaomer. Still trying to figure that out. Chat. Hedorlaomer. Hedorlamer. Oh, that sounds right. Hedorlamer. But the 13th year they rebelled. In the 14th year, Hedorlamer and the kings that were with him came and defeated the Rephaim in Ashtaroth, Kanaim, and the Zuzim in Ham. And and Ham is right up here. Where is Ham? No, I didn't. I definitely didn't click that, dog. Where's Ham? Ham's right up there. So you see, they came from up here. See? Okay, so yeah, 5. In the 14th year, Chedorlamer and the kings that were with him came in, and the kings they came with kings and other people, so it wasn't just like the kings alone. But back in the day, and how it should be, the kings run up in the front. They're the first niggas out there on the battlefield to fuck niggas up. In the 14th year, Chedorlamer and the kings that were with him came and defeated the Rephaim and Ashtaroth Kanaim, and the Zuzim in Ham, and the Emim in Shaveh, Kerataim, and the Horites in their Mount Seir. And Mount Seir is a little lower, but whatever. As far as El Paran, which is in the wilderness, which is by the wilderness. Then they turned back and came to En-Mispat, which is Kadesh, and they conquered all the country of the Amalekites and also the Amorites who lived in Hazazon Tamar. I could get into all this land and stuff. I'll get into a little bit because I do know generally where everything is. So basically, they fought down here. They took some niggas out. Hold on. Fought down. So they fought down here, started down here. They took some niggas out down here. Took niggas out up here. Took niggas out up here. They did, and it was close. It was close to Abraham. It was close to him, but they didn't get to him. They took some niggas out up here, or not up there, up about here. All right. So that's generally where how the war was going. Okay. 8. And the king of Sodom, and the king of Gomorrah, and the king of Admah, and the king of Zeboaim, and the king of Bela, that is Zoar, came out, and they arrayed for battle against them in the valley of Siddim, against Chedorlaomer, king of Chedorlaomer, king of Elam, and Tedal, king of Goyim, and Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Eriak, king of Elasar, 4 kings against 5. Now the valley of Siddim was full of tar pits. It's pretty fucked up. Sucks for them. And the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, and they fell into them. But those who survived fled to the hill country. Then they took all the goods of Sodom, and then they took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their food supply. Wait a minute. Yeah, all the food and departed. They also took Lot, Abraham's nephew, and his possessions, and departed, for he was living in Sodom. So at this point, Lot might have moved a little bit. He might have moved down a little bit more, but I mean, it's not like he might have moved down here a little bit more. Who knows? But it's not that deep again. But you get the point. They were going off, rampaging, blah blah blah, and then Lot was just too close to Sodom, and then they was like, "Oh, get your shit too." They took him down, took him for his shit. Yeah. 14:13. Then a fugitive came and told Abram, the Ibrahim. Now he was living by the strong ones of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Eshcol, and brother of Aner, and these were allies with Abram. When Abram heard that his relative had been taken captive, he had to get a little bit gangster on some real shit. When Abraham heard that his nephew had been taken captive, he let out his trained men born in his house, 318. He was a boss, bro. He wasn't about that shit. He's like, "Oh, you took my nephew? Okay, I'm coming for you, my boy. I'm coming for you." So Abram, again, 14:14. When Abram heard that his nephew had been taken captive, he let out his trained men born in his house, 318, and went out in pursuit as far as Dan. Dan is up here. Let me see if I can click it. Dan. So he was about his business. He came from down here. Oh shit. Down here. All the way up to Dan. Sorry, 15. His gangster son, moving in silence. He divided his forces against them by night, he and his servants, and defeated them and pursued them as far as Hobah. I don't know where Hobah is. I'm not looking for right now, which is north. Oh, I do know where that is. North of Damascus. Damascus is right. Oh, right there. It says it right there. So it's about probably like right there. Damascus. If it's north of Damascus, that's okay. So Damascus, if that is where Hobah is, that means that Damascus was a little bit lower. The locations might be a little bit off. So we'll just say Hobah's right there. So he chased them all the way to there. 14, 16. He brought back all the goods and also brought back his relative Lot with his possessions, and also the women and the people. Then, after his return from the defeat of Chedolamir and the kings who were with him, the king of Sodom went out to meet him at the valley of Shaveh. That is the king's valley. Now, the king's valley is important. Yo, dude. King's valley is right there, right? Where's Shaveh? Is it close? King's Valley is right. Oh, shit. King's Valley is right here, okay? And yes, Jerusalem is in King's Valley. Okay. Jerusalem, Jeru, I don't remember what Jeru is or what it means, whatever, but Shalem. People say peace, but it's more completeness, fullness, wholeness. Okay. So it's a valley of wholeness, completeness. So 17. Then after he returned from the defeat of Chedolamir and the kings who were with him, the king of Sodom went out to meet him at the valley of Shaveh. That is the king's valley. 18. And Melchizedek, king of Shalem, brought out bread and wine. Now, he was a priest of Alyun is what this is, a God most high. Alyun is the word. Alyun. He blessed him and said, "Blessed be Abram of Alyun." It's another word. It's another way of referring to him. Possessor of heaven and earth. Hashemayemu haaretz. And blessed Alyun, which had delivered your enemies into your hand. He gave him tenth of all. Now this is Abram. Abram gave Melchizedek tenth of all because you give priests tithe, which tithe is a tenth. And it does seem like it was Melchizedek gave him a tenth, but it doesn't make any sense because it already tells you what Melchizedek gave to Abraham. He gave him bread, wine, and a blessing, which is way more than a tenth. Trust me. When you have a priest that blesses you, when you have an actual kohen that blesses you, that's way more worth than a tenth of anything you have. Okay, so yeah, it was Abraham who gave him a tenth of all. Okay. 12. The king of Sodom said to Abram, "Give the people to me and take the goods for yourself." Abram said to the king of Sodom, "I have sworn to Yahweh, actually, Yahweh, Yahweh Aryun, possessor of heaven and earth, that I will not take a thread or sandal thong or anything that is yours, for fear you will say, I have made Abraham rich. I will take nothing except what the young man have eaten, and the share of the men who went with me, Aner, Eskol, and Mamre, let them take their share." Now, I want to point out something. The strong ones of Mamre, his allies, went with him to battle. And I'm not 100% sure about this, but I'm pretty sure that Moshe didn't mention it earlier because that's their history and it's not ours. But he did mention it eventually. So Abram had 318 men in his house alone. And then he had Aner, Eskol, and Mamre had their own people. So they all rode out. They did some ride or die shit at night, took the niggas down, took Lot back, came back home. The king of Sodom and Melchizedek, which is Melchizedek actually means Melech Zedek, which is the king or the angel of righteousness, of righteous completeness, if you will. Salim. Okay. And they came back. 15. After these things,
the word of Yahweh came to Abraham in a vision, saying, "Do not fear, Abraham. I am a shield to you. Your reward shall be very great." Abraham said, "O Yahweh Elohim, what will you give me, since I am childless, and the heir of my house is Eliezer of Damascus?" And Abraham said, "Since you have given no offspring to me, one born in my house is my heir." Then behold, the word of Yahweh came unto him, saying, "This man will not be your heir, but one who will come forth from your own body, from your own testicles, he shall be your heir." And he took him outside and said, "Now look toward the heavens and count the stars, if you are able to count them." And he said to them, and he said to him, "So shall your descendants be." Then he believed. Actually, the believed is amen. Then he amen. I'll just say he moved. He didn't believe in his heart. He said, "Okay, fine. If that's what it is, I'm going to act as though I know for a fact that this is going to happen. I'm going to move in a way that I have already been proven that this is going to happen." That's what that means. I'm going to start doing as though I already know that it's going to happen. Okay, just like when you walk, you know that if you're walking on a flat plane, or better yet, when you breathe, you know that you're going to be able to inhale, right? You don't like inhale slowly, right? You don't, because just to check if something's going to go off, right? You believe that you know now you don't know, actually, you believe that you will be able to inhale. So just like that, he moved like that, like, okay, I'll be able to inhale. Okay, he says he's going to do it, then I'm going to move like that. Okay, look again. So sorry, I'm almost there. Almost there, baby. Almost there. 6. 15:6. So then he believed in Yahweh, and he reckoned it to him as righteousness. I don't really know what that means, and I didn't really. It's fine. I'll keep going. And he said unto him, "I am Yahweh, who brought you out of Ur of Chaldeans to give you this land to possess it." He said, "Oh Yahweh Elohim, how may I know that how will I know that I'll possess it?" Now he was still moving in that way. He was still saying, "I'm going to act as though it is, but how will I know?" 8. He said, "O Yahweh Elohim, how will I know I will possess it?" 9. So he said to him, "Bring me a 3-year-old heifer, a 3-year-old female goat, and a 3-year-old ram, and a turtle dove." Actually, I'm going to go back. "Bring me a 3-year-old heifer, woo, a 3-year-old female goat, woo, a 3-year-old ram, woo, a turtle dove, woo, a pigeon." Then he brought all these to him and cut them in two, and laid them and laid each half opposite the other, but he did not cut the birds. The birds of prey came down upon the carcasses, and Abraham drove them away. I don't know why he did this. I don't know what this doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what just happened here. Because every time we've done sacrifices, we ate them afterward. So I don't really know why he did this. I don't know, like, the functional reason why he did this. I know Yahweh told him to do it, but I don't know what the functional point of this was. So if anyone's asking, I don't know yet. All right. 12. Now, when the sun was going down, a deep trance, it wasn't a sleep. He didn't go to sleep. It was a trance. A deep trance fell upon Abram. And behold, terror and greatness and great darkness fell upon him. Elohim said to Abram, "Now, or know for certain that your descendants will be strangers in a land that is not theirs, where they will be enslaved and oppressed 400 years." We're going to come back to that in a minute. I got to see if I can finish this up. "But I will also judge the nation whom they will serve, and afterward they will come out with many possessions. As for you, you shall go to your fathers in peace, and you will be buried in a good old age. Then in the fourth," this is really not the fourth generation. This is really the fourth time period. That I might do another section on this, maybe, but really I'll just tell you just to, like, learn Hebrew. It's just too hard to explain it right now. It's not that deep. This is the fourth period. Okay. Then in the fourth period, they will return here, or kind of fourth generation. It is kind of fourth generation, but it's kind of hard to explain. They will return here, for the iniquity of the Amorite is not yet complete. It came about when the sun had set that it was very dark, and behold, there appeared, and I don't understand what this means either. There appeared a smoking oven and a flaming torch, which passed between these pieces. On that day, Yahweh made a covenant with Abraham, saying, "To your descendants I have given this land." from the river of Mizraim as far as the great river, the river Euphrates. The Kenite, and the Kenizzite, and the Cadmonite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Rephaim, and the Amorite, and the Canaanite, and the Girgashite, and the Jebusite. I'm gonna stop there. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now. There are some people out there that say that this prophecy was when the nation of Israel was in Egypt and is in Mizraim, and it's not, because the nation, and we'll get to this later on when I get to Shemot. The nation of Israel was in Mizraim, Egypt, for 430 years. But at least 200, at minimum 200. And I have to do the math again because it's pretty easy to figure out. But I'm pretty sure about 200 years. Well, I'm pretty sure more than 200 years, but 200 is pushing it on the low side. Like 200 is a very, I'm really like rounding down a lot. There's no way it was less than 200. Zero chance it was less than 200. 200 of those years we were living there as royalty in Mizraim. So that would only leave 230 years that we were in bondage, and we weren't that long. We weren't there that long. We weren't in bondage that long. All right. So if anyone says that we were in bondage in Mizraim, Egypt, for 400 years, and this is that prophecy, they're wrong. I can prove it very easily. Very easily. Very easily. Okay. Joseph, he saved the country when the 7 years of famine came. Okay. So he was famous and revered. The Pharaoh moved down his family, Jacob and Israel, and he gave them their own land. The next Pharaoh was fine with it. The next Pharaoh after that was fine with it. And I'm pretty sure the next Pharaoh after that was fine with it too. So let's just say that all the pharaohs, let's just say only 3 pharaohs were fine with it. Let's give them on the easy side. Let's give them all 75 years they were alive. 75 years. That means it's 225 years that we were in Mizraim, Egypt, Mizraim. 225 years out of 430. That means we weren't there we weren't bondage there. The prophecy that they're talking about in Bereshit in the beginning just ended about 2-3 years ago. What was I looking at? $400 years, right? All right. How slavery, or U.S. slavery, how is America marking the 400th anniversary? July 2019. The first Israelite, they will say it's they'll say I'm African, but the reason they say we're African is because, one, they're niggers and they're pieces of shit. That's number one, and number two, because they took us from Africa. We after the siege of, I'm not gonna get into all that. If you want to know more about our history, go to my video Shabbat. It's in Hebrew. I'm wearing glasses and a red dashiki, wine red dashiki, and I'm like this, something like that. We ran for our lives. I mean, I'm getting into the history later, but pretty much this happened. We were running for our lives from Titus, I believe it was, I think, in 70 AD. It's called the Siege of Jerusalem. You can Google it. That's when we were chased out of our home. We ended up scattered, and the tribe of Jehuda and the tribe of Benjamin, Benjamin integrated with Jehuda, and we ended up in West Africa. And then the Hamites there sold us out. Literally, that's what happened. So that's why a lot of people, like some people do like that. I don't know why they trusted them, but that genealogy test bullshit. But a lot of them be like, oh, I'm from West Africa. Nah, nigga, you was taken from West Africa. You're not West African. I'm not West African. I'm not African at all. Okay? To the family around me right now, you guys are not African. None of you guys are African. Well, there might be one guy who's African. I think he might be African. Or Hamite, Hamitic, who knows? Because he's pretty dark. He might be. He's one. I mean, he's the young boy. He might be. But but Israelites, we're not Africans. We're not Africans. They call us Africans just to throw us off, and they act like they don't know where we're from and shit. They act like blah blah blah. That they have all these churches and stuff to throw us off, and they've been doing it for hundreds of years. 400-year anniversary was in 96. The first Israelite, they'll say African, but the first Israelite that was brought here to be enslaved was in 1619 in the Gregorian calendar, 1619. 400 years later, Donald Trump's faggot. Oh, and this fucking nigger, Nancy Pelosi, this stupid bitch. Probably want to punch her fucking teeth in. Whatever. You can look it all up. You can look it all up. They 400 years, guys. Now it says in the fourth generation they'll go home, right? So let me do some math for you, okay? 400, okay? So we have the first 100 years starts at, well, zero really doesn't really exist, but we'll just start for just for understanding. You got zero, right? You got zero, and then you go to 100 years. That's the first 100 years, and you go to when you get to 200, that's the second set. 300 is the third set, and then 400 is the fourth set. Okay. Right now we're in the fifth set of being in captivity because it just started we're in the 403rd year of being in captivity. Okay. Our sentence, I gotta wrap this up. Our sentence is over. Okay. Our sentence is over. But it says in the fourth generation. Now it's not fourth generation, it's the fourth time set. So that means this. Those that the people that were born from 2000, again, Gregorian calendar, 2019 on, those kids, they don't really, they're not in this prophecy. The people that are in this prophecy are the people that are every single person that was born before 2019. Every Israelite that was born before 2019. Because we were in the fourth generation, the fourth time period. Now, because zero doesn't really exist in Hebrew because it doesn't exist, period, that's the fourth. It's the fourth one. We are the fourth. See, I was born, I'm 32 right now, so I was born in the fourth generation. This is the fifth. We're in the fifth now, but of our captivity. We were still in captivity, but I was born in the fourth. Right? That means that at a max, well, no, I wouldn't even say that because we don't really live that long. I'd say that if we live on average for like, because we don't really live that long because of all the shit that's fucked up in our food and the environment and everything. If Israelites live on average till 70 years old, let's say 70 years old, we live on average, right? That would mean that we have max about 70 years guaranteed before we can go home. Or not before. So, yeah, max guaranteed. That means that we can go home. That means that we might be able to go home. Like if trying to get home, like it's up to us now. We just have to wake up and do what he tells us to do. We can get, it's 100% reasonable, possible, and if we actually try, probable that we could go home within 10 years. That's what I'm saying. That's what I can prove. This isn't some, oh Lord, we're gonna take us back or someday to that Canaan. No, we ain't doing that dumb nigger shit. No, we could go back. If we bust our ass and do what we gotta do, we can go back home. 10 years is not far-fetched to think. And the only reason I say 10 because I think there's a 7-year period that we have to go through some really bad shit. I think. But it's better. I'd rather fight than be a fucking slave. If I know that we can win, and we can win if we do what he tells us to do, we can win. We might have to run for a while, but we can win. We will win. We can go home. We can go home. So to everyone out there that wants to go home, to everyone out there that wants to be a part of the family, everyone out there that wants all this terrible murdering, raping, killing, crazy shit to stop, please. And I'm talking about the genetic Israelites because the people in the house of Israel right now are pretty much they're almost all dead. Okay, straight up, they are. Be 100 with you. They're almost all fucking dead. So to the genetic Israelites, wake the fuck up so we can go the fuck home. Shalom.